so this is the Dust of Many book. I'm here with the author. And today we have a couple questions from classmates who would like to ask you.
Okay. What do you got?
So, the first question is from Kaylin. How long did the book take?
Well, it started it started probably about 15 years ago. Actually in university. Funny enough, one of my professors liked my Roman history papers, but he said it wasn't they weren't good enough. I kept going off topic all the time, and he goes, you would be really good at actually writing a fiction period piece within the Roman Empire. So that's interesting. So we actually plotted a few ideas and whatnot over the years, and then I remember he actually passed away, but I took a lot of the ideas that he had and actually started formatting what would actually become the Dust of Many series later on. So that's kind of where it started.
Okay, so there you go, Kaylin.
Thanks, Kaylin.
This is question number 2 from Summer. Why did you use family members in your book?
I think a lot of authors use inspiration, whether it's family or friends or events in their life. Some people use traumatic events in their life. So I use family initially to kind of breathe life into some of the characters, like the character Minia, for example. There's a lot of people that use family members to kind of start the character off. Okay, what do they look like? How do they act in certain situations? How would they act in this situation? But then as they evolve, sometimes they move away from that family member or that friend because they grow in different directions. Because the story narrative organically flows in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is question number 3 from Petra. Oh, wait. Yeah. There you go, Summer. This is question number 3 from Petra.
Thanks, Summer.
What inspired you to make this book?
I love the Lord of the Rings, the Game of Thrones, the Hunger Games, all these different kinds of fictional pieces, right? Yeah, not so much anymore, but I liked a lot of those, and a lot of that inspiration, you get from some of the big authors and even some small authors.
Yeah.
You get some interesting feedback and information from them, character-related or plot points that actually help you along the way, right? So inspiration comes, and every author feeds off every author. The current Game of Thrones has completely used Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time books in his own narrative.
That's the first part of Petra's question. The second part is, what character would you say is the most important in this story?
They're all important to a certain extent. They're even more important when you're at a point in the narrative that sometimes this character has to perish in some way. Those are the hardest pieces to do. And in the second book, someone goes away very quickly, and it's very difficult to let go. So that person was very important at the time. But I would say, Cirilla and Minia, because they're young and they're thrust into a situation that they never asked for. They're young, impressionable, and very, very difficult circumstances, right?
Yeah.
But they all have their own trials and tribulations to deal with. And when they're in that narrative piece where they're in that difficult situation, they're incredibly important to me, and you have to find that balance, right?
Yeah.
So
there you go, Petra. Yeah, that was Petra.
Was that Petra or Summer?
That was Petra.
Thanks, Petra.
Question number 4. This is from Devin. How many family members are in this story?
Family and friends, probably a dozen. Yeah. And what began as one family member isn't necessarily even close to what they are now in the story.
Yeah.
Right? There are some characters like Minia and Cirilla that kind of continue to hold true to that particular family member, but at the same time, some of them aren't at all. So.
Yeah. So, this is a question from me.
Thanks, Devin.
Yeah, thank you, Devin. Who is Cirilla in the family, and who is Minia in the family?
Cirilla actually began as Victoria, your sister, and because I needed a sister piece. I needed an older sister and a young sister, right? And you guys were young at the time, really young. So they, and Minia is you, for the most part. Now, when the book began, when this whole narrative began initially 15 years ago, obviously you weren't here. So characters began, and then characters kind of disappeared out of the book. as the book evolved, and then all of a sudden, you guys appeared within the narrative, and the narrative was reshaped and changed, and the book kind of moved and swayed, and it is what it is now.
Question number 5. This question was from Annie. Is it hard to be an author and to get that spark for inspiration to write the book?
Well, I guess hard is a interesting question, because what is hard, right? I mean, getting out of bed in the morning sometimes hard, right? So, I guess it depends what you want to do and what you enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Writing and all that stuff is interesting. It can be taxing at times, but with the right love and willpower and hard work, anything can be accomplished. You can write a book, and it's still this is just the beginning. In this particular book, this is just the beginning of the whole story. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to be done. Whether you want to call it work or play, it's up to you how you perceive it to be.
Yeah. So there you go, Annie. And
Thanks, Annie.
you can purchase this book at
Online
and
at the bookshelf,
$25.99.
and
Buy
we'll
it
have
now.
one in the library.
Yeah,
We're gonna
and we're
put a
gonna donate some books for the library, so instead of buying it, you could just read it. And yeah, so we're gonna put that back in there. There we go. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's all the time we have for now. Let's go get some margaritas.
Thank you, dear.